What's up, LEGO builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for another week, one of the final weeks of building Cato Neimoidia in LEGO. I have big plans for this week. If you remember last week, I said this week is going to be very pivotal because it'll decide if I can get the mock finished by the end of February or not. Because the final week is going to be a lot of like setting up minifigures, doing little finishing touches, and so I don't really have like too much time to be building the actual mock. I want to have it finished before I do all of that. And so this week I'll need to get a lot of progress done on the cloud work and the rock work. There are a couple of things to do on the city, but it's mostly finished up. And I do also need to get the rest of the minifigures put together and ready for Cato Neimoidia. All that being said, if you're excited to see me finish up Cato Neimoidia, don't forget to execute Order 66 on that like button. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future mocks or updates. I do appreciate how many people have been subscribing and watching the videos lately. My channel analytics have been showing that a lot more of you guys are coming to the channel and sticking around, so I really do appreciate that. All that being said, it's time for me to get building. All right, I have a very big week ahead of me if I want to be able to finish this mock on my current deadline of being done by the end of February. So what I started out by doing is working on cloud work, just because I've been neglecting that for the past couple of months and I need to, get some progress done on that. So I started by doing a couple of things. First is placing hundreds of these little cylinders down on the ground. You can see they're just kind of in a random order. There isn't really any kind of pattern to them. And then over here on these finished areas where I place down studs, I've actually started pulling them up in random spots. So basically the reverse of what I've been doing with these cylinders. And I'm doing this because originally I was planning on covering this entire bottom area with a row of these trans-clear cylinders, with a row of these trans-clear studs, and then from there I was just going to put in the cylinders and other bricks and other studs on top of that to create kind of the cloud look. But as I started buying these studs, I realized how expensive they were and how hard to find they are, and so it just became kind of an impractical solution to be able to put cloud work on this mock. So I've been trying to figure out what to do, and I think what I'm going to try and do is use a combination of cylinders and studs on this bottom layer. So that's why I pulled these up, and I'm going to be putting cylinders down, is because now instead of having to have like 20,000 trans clear studs on the bottom, I won't need as many, and I can mix in other bricks, which will hopefully mean that I'll be able to use the trans clear parts I have to go further than I would have if I had just done what I was originally going to do, which was just doing an entire row of studs on the bottom. I hope that made sense. Even if it didn't, as the episode progresses, you guys will see what I'm talking about as it starts to come together. I did also get these cables completely finished. This whole side right here is 100% done. The big cables and the small cables, they are even connected to the larger cables. I've got all of the tiles. I've got all the cheese slopes on top of them. This one down here you can see is missing some, and I'm probably going to put some more tiles in, like right here, just to kind of show that these are starting to decay and fall apart a little bit, just because the siege has been going on for so long that people haven't been able to perform proper maintenance on these, and the wear and tear is starting to show. This side over here is pretty much finished as well. I ran out of these socket pieces, so unfortunately I think what I'm going to have to do is create kind of like a couple of partially built ones that are just going to be hanging down here like this, just signifying they got blown up or broken or something. It's just following that same idea of the other side of like just the natural decay and neglect that's been going into these during the war. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you guys for now. And while I'm here doing a little recap, I might as well show you guys this haul that I got in recently. This is going to continue on with the minifigure goal I had last week of finishing the separatist side of things. And I got a couple more rocket droids, which brings my total up to 16, which I think should be the total number that I'll need for the mock. But what has me even more excited with this haul are these little heads. So these are Neimoidian warrior heads. I think I have 6 of these. Yeah, 6 of these heads. And then I also have 6 helmets and some weapons. So I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the Neimoidian situation, just because the minifigure is really expensive and really hard to find. Like the only place I could find them in bulk, they were like $15 each, which would have cost me a ton of money to get 6 of those. But what I decided to do is just part them out. So I've got the heads, the helmets, the guns. I have a bunch of these Jedi and Clone Trooper battle packs, and I feel like the robe on Ki-Adi Mundi pretty closely matches the look of the Neimoidian guard or warrior. You know, obviously if you hold them up next to each other, you'll be able to see a difference, but I think if you're just kind of glancing at them, they'll look pretty much the same. This option cost me $10 in total, which was awesome because I would have ended up spending $15 per Neimoidian if I had just bought the minifigure. So really happy to have saved a bunch of money there, and I have all my Separatist minifigures purchased for the mock. I did also get some more parts in. I got a bunch of hands in for some decaled clones that I'm doing, and then some more dark tan parts and some tiles for the wrap that's going to go on the outside of the city right here. Well, that wraps up everything I was going to show you guys, and it's time to get to work. I have a lot of cloud work ahead of me. You guys are probably tired of hearing about that, but I decided to do a little time lapse of it just to kind of show you guys my process for doing it and to give you an idea of how long it takes. So this time lapse was about, I think about 15 minutes long, and doing a time lapse, I condense it down to like a minute and 30 seconds or something like that. So it looks like it goes by pretty quickly, but I wasn't able to get a lot of space. Like I wasn't able to get a wide area done in that amount of time just because it takes so long to place each individual stud. And I kind of have to space them out and make sure I have cylinders in the right places so I don't have too many large flat sections where there aren't any bumps or little cloud formations or little clouds. It's very time-consuming work. Honestly, I've never had anything this monotonous in any of my mocks. Even with the Battle of Naboo, my first mock where I was putting down all those grass pieces, it was only about 4,000 grass pieces, so it went down pretty quick. And for this mock, I think I estimated around 20,000 trans-clear pieces are going to be needed to cover the entire bottom. All right, it's time to give you guys another update and a haul. So I got some more dark tan in. Yep, still buying dark tan. Week 32 of building Cato Neimoidia. I'm so tired of getting this stuff. This is another 200 dark tan, and honestly, I'm done buying dark tan. I don't care what I'm gonna have to do to finish the mock. I'm not buying any more. I have way too much, and I'm gonna have to sell a bunch of it after, so there's no point in getting it. I'm pretty sure I should be able to get these mountains pretty high without building the back to be the same height. I'm going to do something similar to what I did with Utapau, so I'll show you guys more of that later. But this should be the last of it, and then I did also get some other bricks. We've got some trans-clear studs, light bluish gray tiles, dark bluish gray tiles. These are very important because I need them to finish off this median right here. I think pretty much everything else on the city is done except for that spot, so that'll be nice to have those. And that's pretty much it for the haul. As for the progress update, I sat right here and I streamed for an hour and a half, and I got from right here to right here done. That should give you guys a taste on how time consuming and how boring this is. I have so much left to do, and I'm getting kind of nervous because, I wanted to get this finished pretty soon, but I'm realizing I should have started on this a while ago. I kind of underestimated how long it would take me to do, which is weird because I'd already done this section, so I knew how long it took. So I've been going all out on studs this week, trying to get them all in place. I do have most of the cylinders in. There are a couple of patches that still need some more, but those are pretty much in, so now it's just the studs. This is where I was working on that time lapse. I got a decent chunk done back here, pretty much all of this, and then I did some more after the time lapse as well. So the back's doing pretty good. I'm almost done. I'm probably going to start going over in this direction and working over here because I don't want to put any down here yet, because I'm trying to decide if I should put one more plateau in just to help eat up some more space. So I'm probably going to put more studs in and see like how close I am to running out and how much still needs to be done, and that'll dictate whether or not there'll be another plateau back here. I'm also trying out windscreens or windshields for this cannon. You can see this one's way too long or way too tall. It sticks up above everything. So I bought another one. It's actually in that haul I just showed you guys. It's much shorter. So I'm going to try installing that and see if it fits better. I think it looks pretty cool with like a little windshield on here, but obviously this one is way too tall. So I'll probably get that one installed, and then when I check back in for another update, I'll show you guys what that looks like. Well, I'm back to wrap up the week, and I have something huge to show you guys. But first, I did get another Clone Trooper decaled. This is the final 442nd Trooper for the mock. I have, I think, a total of 21. I would have liked a lot more, but there were just some things that came up, complications with the decals and stuff and where I was getting them from. And it's so close to the end that I think I'm just going to work with what I have, because I will also be using plain white ones and Wolfpack troopers. So, I'll be able to supplement those numbers with other clone troopers. I also just noticed a couple of things that I need to finish on the city. I've got to put in some gold bars right here. Then I got to finish up some details over there, put in those plants, and I think I should be done with the city. But the main thing, the biggest thing I wanted to show you guys are the mountains. So they are finished. I completed both of them yesterday. I was behind on progress. I did not get as much done this week as I would have liked to, because I want to be finished by the end of February. So yesterday I just came home from work and sat down and built for like 3.5 hours straight, I think. I just wanted to get some serious progress done. And so I decided, you know what? Let's just finish off the rock work. And the reason I say it's finished is because I'm at a height that I like. It's high enough above these pads that you can get the illusion and the idea that they just keep going up and up. And I'm out of pieces. Like, I cleaned out every single one of these slopes from Utapau. I used up all of my olive green brick, my dark tan brick, pretty much all of my slopes. Like, I am cleaned out, and I really don't want to order in more, because for me to get substantially more progress, I need to order in hundreds and hundreds more parts to be able to even build this much higher. So I'm sure you guys can see why I'm just going to leave it as is. These aren't the main sections. This isn't the focal point of the MOC, the city. They're merely here to hold up the city. So I decided to leave them where they are. I'm pretty happy with how they look. I might tweak the top a little bit. I'm basically doing that same thing that I do with a lot of my rock structures, and I kind of get this tapered top going up and down, basically making it look like these rocks fade off into mist or into nothing, giving the illusion that they go a lot higher up, and then as you come down they slowly start to solidify, and then you come down here and you can see the actual cliff. I know some people don't like this. I've heard some people even call it sloppy, but guess what? I don't care. I like this. I think it looks good. I think it does what it needs to do, because I can't realistically build as much of the rock work as I'd like to. That's just too expensive and time consuming. So I'm pretty happy with how they look. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of these finished cliffs. I did also get some more trans clear studs down. I got this little chunk over here. I'm getting really low. I am going to have to make another order of those. I obviously can't leave sections of this MOC blank. I have to have cloud work everywhere. But I would say I'm probably over halfway done with the cloud work. I did get this area finished over here too. I put down, because I was putting down this base layer, and then I was going to add in some more studs and bricks and stuff just to make it look a little bit more detailed and a little bit more like clouds. This is the finished result. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I'm excited to put the ships on top of this and see how they look flying around and stuff. I'm actually thinking about building part of another vulture droid and having it, only building half of it and having it stick out of the clouds like that, making it look like it's flying up from down below. Well, that's everything for this week. This was a big week. I'm so happy to finally be officially done with a section of the MOC. Next week's going to be interesting. I'm not sure I'll be able to finish it all up, but it is doable, so we'll just kind of play it by ear. At this point, I'm not sure when exactly I'll be done. Probably not the end of February, just because I don't want to end the MOC just so I can end it on time. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I put my best effort into it. So we'll see. All that being said, it's time to hit the outro. Well, it was a good week. I underestimated how long it was going to take to do that cloud work, if I'm being honest. I think it just, I hadn't done it in so long that my brain didn't really remember how long it takes to do just such a small section of cloud work. So we'll see. I might not be able to get it done in time just because I'll be putting that down. I will enlist some help to see if I can get it done any quicker. I am excited to finish up the city. I do have to figure out if I'm going to be able to have the city hanging by itself, or if it's going to need that trans clear pillar underneath to help hold it up. I will be dealing more with that next week. So next week should be really exciting, because I'm going to be getting a lot of minifigures put together, getting the city finished up, maybe even some of the cloud work. All that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know what you thought about this update down below in the comments, and I will catch you guys next time. But until then, happy building.